Hey everyone, welcome back to Olinsi Traveling. Today we're in Barstow, California, right along the busy I-15 corridor, and we've got a truck stop that every driver knows can get busy. We're checking out Love's Travel Stop, but there's something here I really want to show you. That extra dirt parking area. Yeah, when the regular parking starts getting packed, that big open dirt area can become a very important option for drivers who need somewhere to shut down. And if you've been driving long enough, you already know the problem. Your clock is getting close. You're tired. You don't want to keep driving around looking for parking. And suddenly, a dirt lot doesn't look so bad anymore. So today we're going to take a look at the whole stop, the regular truck parking, the extra dirt parking, fuel island, love store, showers, food, and what it's like to finish your driving day here. And stick around because I'm going to talk about one thing every truck driver understands. Sometimes the best parking spot isn't the prettiest one, it's the one that's available when you need it. Let's check it out. Let's start with the parking because that's probably the biggest reason many drivers will be interested in this location. Love's currently lists 90 truck parking spaces here. But as every driver knows, the number on paper doesn't always tell the whole story. What matters is, what happens when the evening comes around and trucks start rolling in. During the daytime, you have more flexibility. You can fuel, grab some food, take a break, maybe get a shower. But as the afternoon turns into evening, the parking situation can change quickly. That's when having additional space becomes valuable. The dirt parking area gives drivers another option when the paved spaces are getting tight. Now, obviously, dirt parking isn't the same as a nice paved parking space. You have to pay attention to the surface. You have to watch your surroundings. And after rain, conditions can be very different. But when you're sitting there with your hours running out, having an additional area can be a whole lot better than driving another 30 or 40 miles hoping something opens up. That's the reality of trucking. Sometimes you choose the perfect parking spot. Sometimes you take what's available. And sometimes you're just happy to have somewhere to safely shut down. Now let's talk about this dirt area a little more. This is where I think the video gets interesting. Because truck parking is one of the biggest challenges professional drivers face. You can have fuel. You can have restaurants. You can have showers. You can have a beautiful travel center. But if there's nowhere to park your truck at the end of the day, none of those things matter very much. That's why extra parking areas can be so useful. Now let's move over to the fuel island. This is a busy transportation corridor, so getting fuel efficiently is important. Love's lists 10 DEF lanes at this location, along with bulk DEF and other truck-focused services. When you're fueling, this is a good time to do your quick driver routine. Clean the windshield. Check the tires. Look at your lights. Check your mirrors. Take a quick walk around the truck. Those few minutes can make a difference. And don't forget, the fuel island isn't a parking spot. Once you're finished fueling, pull forward and give the next driver room. We've all been behind somebody who's finished fueling, but is sitting there eating, checking their phone, or doing something else. Come on, driver. Pull forward. We've got a line behind you. That's just part of being courteous on the road. The Love store is open 24 hours, so whether you're starting your day before sunrise or finishing late at night, you've got access to the basics. You've got coffee, cold drinks, snacks, travel supplies, truck accessories, and food options. For a truck driver, convenience matters. You don't always have time to leave the truck stop and search for a restaurant. Sometimes you want to walk inside, grab something hot, get your coffee, and get back to your truck. Love's also lists 7 private showers here. And after a full day on I-15, believe me, a hot shower feels pretty good. That's one of those little luxuries of trucking. You're tired. Your back is tired. Your eyes are tired. Then you get a hot shower, clean clothes, and a fresh cup of coffee. Suddenly you're a completely different person. Now imagine arriving here after dark. You've been running I-15 all day. Traffic around Southern California has been busy. You've dealt with mountains, congestion, construction, and whatever else the highway decided to throw at you. Then you finally pull into Barstow. You fuel. You grab something to eat. And now you're looking for parking. This is where that extra dirt area becomes important. You don't necessarily need luxury. You need a place where you can safely shut down, lock the truck, set your alarm, and get some sleep. That's trucking life. Tomorrow morning, the alarm goes off. Coffee. Pre-trip inspection. Check the load. Check the tires. Start the engine. And we're back on I-15 again. Oh, here's my question for all the drivers watching. Would you park in a large dirt lot like this if the paved truck parking was full? Personally, I think a lot of drivers would say yes, especially when the alternative is continuing down the highway tired and running out of hours. But I'd love to hear your opinion. Dirt parking, yes or no? Drop it in the comments. One thing I want to talk about a little more is the reality of finding truck parking, because this is something every professional driver understands. You can plan your route perfectly. You can know exactly where you're going to fuel, where you're going to eat, and where you're going to take your break. But parking is one thing you can't always control. You might arrive at a truck stop thinking, I've got plenty of time. Then you pull in and see trucks everywhere. The paved spaces are filling up. Drivers are circling around. Someone is waiting for another truck to pull out. And now you're watching that clock. That's when having an additional parking area can make a big difference. Here at Loves in Barstow, that extra dirt area gives drivers another option. It's not necessarily about finding the perfect parking spot. Sometimes it's simply about finding a place to safely end the day. And that's something people who don't drive trucks may not understand. When you're driving a car, finding a parking spot is usually an inconvenience. For a truck driver, it can become a serious part of trip planning. You've got hours of service rules. You've got delivery appointments. You've got weather. You've got traffic, and you've got your own body telling you that it's time to stop. So when you find somewhere you can safely park, that's valuable. I also think drivers should remember that the parking lot is part of our workplace. We're not just passing through. We're using these places every day. That's why keeping your parking space clean is so important. If you open a snack, throw the wrapper away. If you have a bottle, put it in the trash. If something falls out of the truck, pick it up. It sounds simple, but imagine arriving after a 10-hour day and finding your parking space covered with someone else's garbage. Nobody wants that. We all want to pull in, set the brakes, close the curtains, and relax. And here's another little tip. Don't wait until you're completely exhausted to start looking for parking. If you know your driving hours are getting close to the limit, start thinking ahead. Look at your options. Check the next stops. Have a backup plan? Because sometimes the first place is full. The second place may be full. And suddenly you're driving another 30 minutes when you should have already been parked. That's when a simple decision earlier in the day can save you a lot of stress later. And that's what I like about making these videos for Olinsi Traveling. We're not just looking at whether a truck stop has fuel pumps and a convenience store. We're talking about the things that actually matter when you're living this lifestyle. Where can I park? Can I get a shower? Can I get something to eat? Can I get some rest? And most importantly, can I safely get back on the road tomorrow? That's the real truck driver perspective. So if you're heading through Barstow on I-15, keep this location in mind, plan ahead, and don't forget that the extra parking area may be a useful backup when the regular lot gets busy. Because sometimes, driver, the best parking spot isn't the one you wanted, it's the one that lets you shut down safely and get some sleep. So, what's the final takeaway from Loves in Barstow? For me, the biggest story here is parking. Yes, you've got fuel. Yes, you've got showers. Yes, you've got food in the Love store. But for a professional driver, having additional parking options can be the difference between a relaxed shutdown and a stressful search for somewhere to park. Loves officially lists 90 truck parking spaces here, along with overnight parking and a range of truck services. And that extra dirt area gives this location another interesting option for drivers. It may not be fancy, but trucking isn't always about fancy. Sometimes it's about having a place to park when you need it. So if you've been through Barstow and you've used this dirt parking area, let me know what you think. Was it good? Was it rough? Would you use it again? Leave your experience in the comments because real driver feedback is what makes these reviews useful. And if you enjoy real truck stop reviews, trucking life, travel destinations, and stories from the road. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for Olinsi Traveling. Thanks for riding along. Stay safe, keep the shiny side up, and I'll see you at the next stop.